yesterday extends referendum for privatization of government-owned industries in Cross River State. Over 29,000 Nigerians benefit from federal government conditional cash transfer program. Plus, Nigeria Police Force Zone 6 nabbed social media freak for defaming hospitality facility in Calabar. Details shortly. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the news. I am Udwak Etam. To ensure increased level of participation by indigents of Cross River State, the State Governor Ben Ayade has extended by 2 months the referendum which seeks their opinion on the method of privatization of state-owned industries. This was as the technical team of the Privatization Council made presentation of about 34 industries to be privatized for sustainability and efficiency. Paul Ebel reports.
A major achievement of the Governor Ben Ayade administration is the spread of agro-allied industries across the 18 local government areas of the state. To ensure a people-oriented and participatory governance, the state governor, even outside a requirement in the privatization law, instructed the Privatization Council to embark on a referendum. And not satisfied with the outcome, the final decision is to get the people more involved.
I cannot take a decision on behalf for Cross Riverians based on the opinion of 1,000 people. It will be wrong. The field response that was supposed to come from each local government, where we say hard copies should be taken to the 18 local governments. But if we have decided to carry our people along, let us sincerely indeed be seen that they are carried along. I like to see through participation so that when the decision is taken, records, data, history, and our conscience will vindicate us that indeed we consulted.
In the history of privatization in Cross River State, this is the first time that the government is conducting a referendum, which will enable citizens to vote to either accept or reject government initiative.
This measure is to ensure that everybody is carried along to demonstrate transparency and accountability in the entire exercise, and that the industries continue to serve the people even after the present administration leaves office. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
The Nigeria Police Force Zone 6 headquarters has nabbed a social media freak for defaming a leading hospitality facility in Calabar via TikTok. The Assistant Inspector General of Police Zone 6 headquarters, Usman Sulegomna, says this is in line with his commitment to leave no stone unturned in making the zone safe and secured. Achibong Basi has details of the report.
The middle-aged female suspect on the 12th of August 2021 had taken to TikTok to express her displeasure over an incident alleged to have occurred at a hospitality facility without verifying the information.
At the reception, the guy there told me he cannot disclose any information to me about this person I'm looking for and that I should leave. So I left. I was outside the premises of the hotel, still trying to communicate with him, but he wouldn't get back to me. So the next day, the person that sent him to me in Canada sent me a message on WhatsApp telling me that this is what has happened. I told him I can't believe it. So he called me on a video call to tell me this is what has happened. In the process of me doubting him, he got angry and started calling me names. He said, me and my country, we are criminals. It was something huge I was expecting from him, so I got angry and made that video on the 13th.
Sadly for this lady, following a credible intelligence, she was picked up by the operatives of the Zonal Intelligence Bureau on the 18th of October 2021 in connection with the video which had gone viral on TikTok and other social media platforms.
On interrogation, she claimed to have been scammed by somebody outside the country, that 2 Canadians robbed of their valuables, their hotel rooms ransacked.
The suspect, however, regrets her actions for not verifying an information given to her by her Canadian friend before taking to the social media, and apologizes to Nigerians for sending out a misleading information. In Calabar, Achibong Basi, NTA News.
Some unknown gunmen yesterday evening attacked the Isialambano police station in Imo State, setting ablaze part of the building. A statement by the police public relations officer Michael Abatam indicates that the armed bandits suspected to be members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, came in about 5 vehicles and 3 motorcycles, 3 petrol bombs on the roof of the already damaged building while shooting indiscriminately. The attack, according to the statement, was however repelled by the police operatives attached to the station who engaged them in a gun battle. It affirms that no arm was lost, but the police operative who sustained gunshot injury was rushed to a nearby hospital for treatment. The statement further indicates that the command tactical teams have been dispatched to the area in pursuit of the bandits and to beef up security. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police Imo State Command, Raibu Huzani, has commended the officers and men of the division for their gallantry, urging them to sustain the tempo. He enjoins indigents of the state to continue to work in synergy with the police and other security agencies in their effort to combat crime by providing them with useful information. Still on security, the Bayelsa State House of Assembly has held a public hearing on the Community Safety Bill. The House reaffirmed its commitment to partner with relevant stakeholders to ensure crime and criminalities are at their barest minimum in the state. Our correspondent reports.
The primary responsibility of government is the protection of lives and properties. It is in the light of this that the Bayelsa State House of Assembly Committee on Security sought to repeal the Bayelsa State Voluntary Internal Vigilante Agency Law 2003 and the Community Safety and Vigilante Corps Law under a central coordinating body to be called Community Safety Corps. According to lawmakers, the Community Safety Corps will ease the operations of security agencies and community policing.
The Corps will build a warehouse, will build a coordinating body for all these other different bodies that we have. Well, they will now fall into what we call directorates, different directorates, but with one coordinating office. This bill is now providing specific rules that will be played by the different directorates that will be formed.
We can get a product which is very valuable, which is all-encompassing, and also a product that has strength and integrity to serve Bayelsans and the good of Bayelsa.
Stakeholders who welcomed the bill stated that issues of security need to be given prominence considering the level of kidnapping and other criminal activities in communities.
It is in no way against the objectives or the formation of the Ministry of Local Government. Instead, they will complement their efforts.
The membership of the committee should be expanded to include one representative from each of the local government.
To resend the bill to community level, where the traditional law of that community is the head.
We have reviewed that Bayelsa State should be peaceful so that investors and more development will come.
From the State House of Assembly, Baratwaipre Awe, NTA News.
The multinational joint task force is partnering other national security forces in its area of operation to enhance the elimination of the remnants of the terrorists hibernating in the Lake Chad region. A statement by the Chief of Military Information of the Joint Task Force, Colonel Mohammed Dole, indicates that the Force Commander Major General Abdul Khalifa Ibrahim stated these while on operational visit to Chandian Chief of Air Staff, Brigadier General Amin Hamed Idris, at the headquarters Chandian Air Force. The statement adds that the ongoing tour of strategic military and security formations in the region is aimed at exploring support for the multinational joint task force operations against terrorists in the area. It's 1 year after the 2020 NSAS protest, and scars and wounds from its aftermath have continued to remain visible, arising from actions alleged to have been hijacked by hoodlums who caused unprecedented destruction of lives as well as private and public property. 1 year on, some organizations are still struggling to rebuild, renovate, and repair their facilities. The 2020 NSAS protest, which dramatically evolved in the middle of the global COVID-19 pandemic, was seen as a threat to the country's stability, even as the protesters alleged to have demanded for an end to police brutality, justice for victims and greater restoration of the nation's democratic mandate. Based on the fact that the movement was hijacked by hoodlums, the Nigerian Television Authority NTA Calabar was one of the worst hit organizations during the incidents, following the high level of destruction done on its facility. How is the station faring a year after the horrible experience?
Make the environment better by tiling all the offices that we are having rugs before. We've been able to buy equipment to put in place to improve our quality of transmission. I want to use this medium to sincerely thank Mr. Governor, Senator Ben Ayade, for his magnanimity and philanthropy in assisting NTA Calabar.
The protest across the nation took a different dimension, and Cross River State was not left out, as the motive behind it was the attack on government facilities and private establishments, which are presently struggling to come alive. There is, however, a call on the federal government to provide employment for the youths.
I think it's high time the government stood up to their responsibility, meet the demands, at least the ones that can be met, and make plans, to ensure that there's good governance in Nigeria.
The government has to address the issue of unemployment and also empower the youth.
Some concerned Nigerians on the NSAS memorial say, given the right to protest should be exercised but never abused, advising Nigerian youths to always adhere to democratic ideals for a progressive society. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News. Nigerians are encouraged to live in harmony and avoid violence for a better nation, bearing in mind that peace is the fulcrum of a progressive society. This was the message of the foremost international missionary of the Brotherhood of the Cross and Star, Archbishop Ipalibo Duke, when he led some members of the organization on a custom visit to the management of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Calabar. The reports. Rising from the COVID-19 pandemic, insecurity and other numerous challenges facing Nigeria and the entire world in recent times, the need for the country to seek God's intervention to end this crisis has become imperative. This is the belief of the Brotherhood of the Cross and Star, through its foremost international missionary, Archbishop Ipalibo Duke, and other members of the religious organization who were on a custom visit to the management of Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Calabar. The message of peace was focal at the visit, especially as the organization celebrates its 63rd anniversary of the General Fellowship. The Archbishop, however, commended NTA for being at the forefront of promoting national unity and urged Nigerians to embrace peace at all times for nation building.
In brotherhood we stand, so there will be peace in this country. Without peace, there will be no progress. Without peace, no development. It is this peace we want. No question of saying, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian. You should all come together because God is one.
In Nigeria now, what we need is peace, love, and harmony.
For the management of NTA Calabar, peace is the watchword, as no nation can grow in an atmosphere of disunity and violence. The General Manager NTA Calabar, Samuel Olalude, is therefore calling on the religious organization to renew its program, Brotherhood Half Hour, so to reach the world with its message, especially of that of national unity.
It is peace that we need now because of the precarious events that have been happening all over the country. And because of the mandate of NTA, we are for national cohesion and cooperation. And because we have brought peace as a message to Nigerians, we also assist in propagating this peace because it is peace that we need. And when there is peace, there will be love, there will be development.
The Brotherhood of the Cross and Star is a religious organization founded by leader Olumba Obu in Calabar, Cross River State. And today, it has grown into a worldwide movement with branches in different parts of the world. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News. You are still watching NTA Calabar News at 7. You can equally watch this newscast on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/NTA Calabar. A break now, the news continues shortly. Stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for being there. And now to the rest of the bulletin. The National Institute for Hospitality and Tourism and the National Bureau of Statistics have signed a memorandum of understanding to improve data collection on tourism activities. The MOU was signed by head of both agencies in Abuja. NTA Calabar reports.
Within the tourism industry, data collection is one of the most important tools to the development of the sector. Going by available records, data collection in Nigeria in the tourism industry is poor. Either it is not available, scanty, or not updated. With the signing of the MOU between the National Institute for Hospitality and Tourism and the National Bureau of Statistics, more relevant statistics that will help fast-track the development of the industry will be achieved.
Statistics are critical to national planning, sound development policies, and informed business decisions. For us at NAHOTO, research is imperative.
MBS promised to build a data bank that will be easily accessible to relevant stakeholders in the tourism sector.
Making accessibility to data much easier, particularly for users of information, so that you don't have to travel from one corner of the country to another before you can have access to tourism data, but rather even within your bedroom.
To achieve maximum result in data collection in the tourism and hospitality industry, the Director General NAHOTO, Nora Sani Kangiwa, has established a research and development unit to conduct industrial-based research and generate data for the use of the industry. NTA Calabar, NTA News.
The federal government has recommenced its social support of conditional cash transfer to the poor and indigent households in Akwa Ibom State. The conditional cash transfer is managed by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. Evelyn Bado Ebu reports.
Afyong Efyong, a petty trader, is one of the numerous beneficiaries of the Conditional Cash Transfer, a social support program of the federal government for the poor and vulnerable. While appreciating the federal government for the gesture, she said it has helped improve on her means of livelihood.
I appreciate the federal government for what they have done. Before now, I had it very difficult to feed, but through the federal government cash transfer, they have changed my life.
Thank the federal government for all what he have done to us. And I collected the money, 30,000 naira today. So I thank everybody that received.
I gotta do markets. He don't do well. He give me money to go market. I say me God bless him.
The payment resumed at Uran local government area following a backlog of payment for about 6 months. The Conditional Cash Transfer Head Unit, Akwa Ibom State, says about 789.8 million naira is estimated to be disbursed to the 9 benefiting local government areas in Akwa Ibom State, ensued for the expansion of the program to cover other local government areas in the state.
I want to use this opportunity to thank the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. She has done very creditably well for us. She has really impacted much on the poor and vulnerable in the society, of which Akwa Ibom State is a beneficiary.
From Uran local government area, Evelyn Badu Ekpo, NTA News.
Youths have been advised to avail themselves with different sporting activities while refraining from social vices and youth restiveness in the society. The advice was given at the unveiling of the maiden edition of National Youth Council of Nigeria NYCN Sports logo in Calabar. Erika Ibi has details of the report.
Sport, which is being described as one of the unifying factors in Nigeria, is an integral part of a child's development and should be encouraged in the society. This line of thought formed part of the opinions of experts at the unveiling of the State National Youth Council of Nigerian Sports logo.
If they pursue excellence, success in what they're doing, and begin to dream big about becoming professional footballers.
To actually appeal and advise the leadership of this umbrella to ensure that they encourage the youth towards self-development, towards developing their human capacity.
Some team leaders at the occasion sued for the spirit of sportsmanship in the main event, while charging the leaders of NYCN in the state to galvanize youth across the 18 local government areas for participation.
Let them focus on something that is socially acceptable, and then it will enhance their academic excellence.
It's a very good thing to do because sports, we know, is a tool of unity, a tool that can bond love. Remember, each time Nigeria play football, nobody talks about ethnicity, nobody talks about religion or class. Everybody is focused to say, Nigeria, we want to win.
The chairman, NYCN, Daniel Obo, said although sporting activities are being neglected in this part of the world, sport is one of the tools that encourages the development of talents and mutual understanding among people.
In the course of this sport, we must unify to put friendship ahead of whatever, right? And so we will advise our young people, first is that, let's shun violence.
There's no gain in destroying the nation. There's no gain in not contributing to nation building. I used to understand before it was a thing of pride to participate in any competition for your country, for your local government, for the areas you belong. But now it's no more.
The main event, which will kick off on Monday, 28 October 2021, will feature different sporting activities such as table tennis, athletics, football, and more. High point of the occasion was the unveiling of the logo and presentation of jerseys to different team leaders. In Calabar, Erika Ivy, NTA News.
To end the news, a recap of the major stories. Governor Ben Ayade has extended referendum for privatization of government-owned industries in Cross River State. Over 29,000 Nigerians have benefited from federal government conditional cash transfer program. It was also in the news that Nigerian Police Force Zone 6 headquarters has nabbed social media freak for defaming hospitality facility in Calabar. That is it on our news. Thanks for watching. Good night.